what's funny, Hurt? Really? Yeah.
I want
Dude, that's not funny.
Welcome, everybody. NYMD Podcast. Dolphins are fish. Kevin Hurt here for this week. Got a lot to talk about. Let's roll. Like I wish you had hair sometimes. You just smile, right? It's like a long time ago, even though that one didn't move because of all the stylish and the gel and everything.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
All right. Welcome on in. NYMD Podcast. We're already having fun, everybody.
Yeah.
Your host, Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrod. Yeah, it's going to be, as Ice Cube said, it's going to be a good day. So, well, not all the way around, but for some parts of it.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for being here on StreamYard on YouTube and subscribing to NYMD Podcast. Of course, we're on the Facebook, the IG, and the Twitter, which we were tweeting last night about the AEW pay-per-view. So, and college football as well. So I hope you were tuning in. I know we got a lot of people that saw our tweet, so we appreciate that. Then, of course, you can follow us on the regular podcasting ways, any ways you want to podcast, which is iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher apps. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find the NY to MD podcast.
Yeah. Ooh, man, let me tell you, man, this has been a crazy week, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yo, I had a horrible headache on Thursday, man. Went to sleep.
Before or after?
I'm just getting up today.
Okay.
I'm just getting up. I had this terrible headache on Thursday night. Went to sleep. I just got up. I'm real tired. Just got up, man. Had a nightmare. Had a horrible nightmare, man.
Well, I can tell you, if there's a nightmare category, it's a whole lot of other teams that we're going to get into that had some nightmares this weekend.
Yeah.
One of them almost had a big nightmare. Almost even bigger than a nightmare this other team had. So that just does hit it. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I usually start out with, college football because, I love college football. It's exciting. It's great. We had a lot of ranked teams this weekend playing, and I need to just forget all that for right now.
Okay.
Alabama won, Michigan won, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
2 games. Is it 2 or 3? 3 non-ranked team games I want to talk about. First one is the University of Gainesville. So they're playing at home against Division II Samford College. Samford is a team that's in Alabama. They were down 42-35 at halftime.
Who's they?
The University of Gainesville.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Florida. And you don't know how hard.
Wait a minute. They were down 42-35 at halftime?
At halftime.
I just realized what you said.
Halftime.
So they give up 6 touchdowns. Good Lord.
Okay. Basically a team like Towson. Like the school size and everything.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So 42-35 at home in the pond or cesspool, sewage dump, whatever they call it.
Right.
At halftime, they They rallied back because they had to win 70-52.
Okay.
So they came back to win. But when they came back to win, they were celebrating like they won a World Series or they beat Alabama or they beat, I don't know, Georgia or something. Like it's sad. And I just wanted to talk about the state of football in Florida in this point is sad for college football.
Okay.
I mean, because yesterday it was for Florida State is Miami week. We are one of our, if not our biggest rival, the University of Miami. We played them. And during college game day, they actually had a moment of silence for the rivalry.
Wow.
And I was just like, and of course I took that personally. So yeah,
wow.
I'm gonna have to tweet out at Kirk Herbstreit about that. But I can't see that he's wrong.
I was about to say,
I can't see that he's wrong because we have not been the same two teams, almost basically even since joining the ACC. To be honest, we were there first, but when Miami came, it just seemed like the rivalry fell down. Both teams fell down. They started moving the games like Labor Day. It was like the first game of the season in like 2 seasons, which that was horrible. This is the first time I can remember we played in November. We usually play in October. So, but both teams are not great. Luckily, my team won. We scored a touchdown with like 22 seconds left in the game to win 31-28. But the rivalry isn't the same.
Oh, real quick, I just saw this comment. The GOAT Tom Brady will obliterate Washington today. At least 430 yards and 4 TDs.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Calm down. I agree with maybe the 4 touchdowns, but 430. I mean, this isn't, again, Washington is a professional defense. They have been playing better lately, coming off a bye week. The defense is rested. They will do better. Tom's not throwing for 430. It's just not. 4 touchdowns, because Tom can get down to like the 5 and like throw a quick slant and get those touchdowns that way. It's not good. No, it's not doing 430. I totally disagree. But so getting back to the college real quick. Oh, here you go.
We have another comment here. That TD Miami call was playing NCAA football.
So there's this one play. Miami is down at like the 10-15 yard line, something like that, Florida State's. So the Van Dyke, their quarterback, throws the ball. Their wide receiver misses it, literally off his hands. Goes over our defensive back standing in the end zone to the wide open Miami guy at the back of the end zone, and he catches it. And when Dan and I used to play NCAA football on EA Sports for PlayStation, that's how he used to score, I swear, because he can't run the ball. So all he would do is go back in like 5 receiver sets and pass all day. And it'd be half those times where, and then his receiver gets it and runs it for a touchdown. And the score is like 75-68 or something. So yeah, something dumb like that. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. But it was a compelling game between 2 teams that are rivals. I think if Miami didn't decide to try to go in the middle of our field and stand on the Seminole sign, I think they probably would have won the game. But don't do that. Don't do that. So we had to come back and win that battle, and we play Florida in 2 weeks. So hopefully we can win the state championship that way. So, but it was oh my God, they were so embarrassed. But being embarrassed isn't the way poor University of Texas is being embarrassed. So Texas lost at home to a team who has not won a Big 12 road game in 56 games. And then the funny thing was their basketball team lost to Gonzaga. So they lost to 2 basketball teams, one in football, one in basketball on the same day. Kevin Durant should not be happy with this. They lost at home in overtime to Kansas. Kansas is probably the worst Big 5 football program in the country. And Kansas at home. Wow. And they were trailing big. It was like 35-14 at one point. And Texas came back to force overtime. Dude, I don't even. The state.
Who's the coach of Texas right now?
Steve Sarkisian.
Oh.
He was offensive. He used to be head coach at USC. He's offensive coordinator at Alabama. But man,
what's the problem? Like, what's happened to Texas? What it seems like they've been just like a mediocre program now for like years, man.
Because they have been ever since like Mac Brown and those days. They've just been up and down, but they have not been anywhere near. And it's not like they can't recruit; they got the state.
Yeah,
I mean Texas A&M plays in the SEC, but no one's Texas,
right?
So there should be no reason why they are the way they are. And Kansas, good God, Kansas. Yeah. So, but yeah, I had to talk about those non-ranked games because that was horrible. But getting back, so number one, Georgia went on the road, beat Tennessee. Alabama had an easy home game, of course, against New Mexico State. Ole Miss won a big SEC game against Texas A&M at home. Both teams were ranked 29-19. Auburn was upset at home by Mississippi State, 43-34.
Oh.
The battle of the Golden Boot, Arkansas beat LSU 16-13. Hold on 1 second. I didn't have this in the correct order. That's why. I was like, why am I doing all SEC games? There we go. Alabama. Oregon won at home against Washington State, 38-24. Ohio State, because they weren't playing on the road at the Spoilermakers, they were playing at home, obliterated Purdue, 59-31. Michigan on the road at Happy Valley, which is so happy this morning.
They eat that out.
Huh?
They eat that one out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was. They scored on like the last minute on a touchdown to the tight end. I was watching that game. That dude just got the ball, ran all the way across the field, and went up the sideline. So, but that was a good game. Michigan State won. I don't think we want to talk about that one. We'll talk about the uniforms real quick. So Michigan State, it was actually on TV, which was cool. So I was watching the state school of the state of Maryland was on TV.
Yeah.
But I mean, not every, Tagovailoa is going to win this week, right? So we'll talk about it. So they played Michigan State, who, by the way, had the worst uniforms of the weekend. I don't mind the neon on the helmet. I was fine with the neon on the helmet.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm cool with that. I don't actually I don't mind the little neon on the little Spartan on the side of the thing. I probably wouldn't mind the neon on the front. The issue with the front is that as big as everything else on that uniform, you had the word state. And not only did you have it state, you had it in neon green state. Yeah. So the state, it just looked hideous.
Yeah.
It looked like they made it almost too big because the S was going underneath the underarm and the end of the E was going underneath this underarm. So it was like stats. And it's just neon green. They were horrible, man.
Well, the reason why they actually put out a statement about this. It's funny you bring this up. They actually put out a statement like this. They wanted their uniforms to reflect the play of the Maryland defense. So that's the reason why they went in that direction. Yeah.
Their uniform was ugly. It just looked so. It looks like they were just trying too hard to do something different.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, it was terrible. But they ended up winning that game 40-21. Baylor beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not a good team. I picked this game. Baylor's trying to. I think most of the teams in the Big 12 just trying to send Oklahoma and Texas out on a roll, platter and send them straight to the SEC. Notre Dame on the road beat Virginia 28-3. Oklahoma State big over TCU. I said Ole Miss already. Wake Forest in the battle of ranked ACC teams continues their unbeaten ACC record, 45-42 over NC State. And they're in control of the Atlantic Conference. Wisconsin over Northwestern. Iowa over Minnesota for the Florida Rosedale Trophy. which Minnesota hasn't won in like 7 seasons. San Diego State eking one out over Nevada. UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, continued their undefeated season over Southern Miss. Utah on the road over Arizona, and that was basically it. So not too many big upsets. A lot of those things people predicted would happen, but just Texas losing like that and Florida struggling at home is just odd.
Question: do you think Maryland has a shot against Michigan at home next week?
Probably not. I mean, because really, if you go to Happy Valley and win, you could go to Maryland. I'm just different atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so and the thing is, Michigan's defense is real. So yeah, I mean, it could be close, but I don't think you're gonna win.
Yeah,
it's tough having both Michigan teams back to back.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about something that you love.
Okay.
More than college football. It was the opening of college basketball this week. College basketball tipped off with some big games. One of the big games was the women's preseason NIT. Which I know nobody thought they would hear about, but I'm mentioning it to you because the University of Florida played Towson on Friday in the preseason women's NIT. And, of course, Towson whooped it and beat Florida for one of my highlights of the week.
Yeah, so,
man. Great job, Tigers.
You sent me that text. I was like, what?
I was happy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. So let me tell you how I'm feeling about college basketball. Okay. First of all, there was a time where I was really into college basketball, man. Really into college basketball. Not so much anymore. My Terps are they're decent. They hang around the top of the Big Ten during the season. They should make the NCAA tournament, but then they're not really. They're not the perennial contender that they used to be. So, I'm not as excited about Maryland football. But that being said, I barely knew that it started this week. But I kind of did know because all I heard was how great Coach K is and how, Duke basketball is back. And don't be surprised if they go all the way. Can we stop smooching Coach K's butt, please? Can we please stop? Just get this. Let me tell you, this season cannot be over with fast enough. I just want the season to hurry up, to come, go, so I don't ever have to hear that name again. I get already with smooching his butt. We're just puckering up to this guy. Already. Can we please stop with the Duke propaganda? It just pisses me off to no end. Dude. I'm done. I can't even talk about it no more. All I heard is how great Duke was this week. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, basketball season started. Oh, don't be surprised. Duke is back. They can go all the way. Like, shut up, man.
Who's that? Michael Irvin talking about Duke?
Dude, I forgot where I heard this, but that's all I was hearing this week. Like, shut up. Like, stop kissing his butt, man. Lead us to just be gone. Just go away. Go, man. Nobody ever wants to talk about how this dude, when he's having a bad team, all of a sudden he has health issues and can't coach. And man, just bye, Coach K, bye. Just go. Peace. Good riddance. All right, I'm done.
So Gonzaga beat Texas yesterday, and the Gonzaga number 1 ranked team in the nation over Texas number 5. Michigan number 6 ranked beat Prairie View A&M. Tough game. Speaking of Duke won at home against the Fighting Camels of Campbell.
Of course. Yeah.
Memphis beat NC Central. Arkansas over Gardner Webb. I just guess 2 people played for Gardner Webb. Maryland, big win over Vermont. I don't know if your coach is still there. Was there? Like Tony Pash.
Mark Turgeon. Okay.
Okay. So the Terps won 68-57, and UConn beat Coppin.
Very nice.
So those are some of the big. And today, of course, we have the big game. Florida is away at Florida State is playing on the road. Number 20 Florida State will be playing Florida. So That'll be another part of my wonderful weekend. Florida lose it. So if we Florida State can beat Miami in football, then Florida in basketball, and Towson beat Florida in basketball. It's like a win. So and unlike GT 500, Tom Brady will not throw 430 yards, maybe 330, not 430. It's a lot. But college basketball started. It's too early for me. Just like when the NBA starts too early. The thing about the NBA is that I'm actually kind of excited about watching it. The Wizards are in first place. Golden State's 11-1. I feel like I'm taking myself away from how I always felt like it started on Christmas. And I want to kind of enjoy watching basketball, which I don't think I've done in a long time.
Okay.
I know it's usually LeBron centered or Knicks centered. Never really Knicks centered because they haven't been good in so long. And luckily they made the playoffs last year. But I just kind of enjoy watching just different, again, I think it's, and I blame you for this, the Utahs and Denvers of the world who I was so dead against had that wonderful playoff series a couple seasons ago where I could watch the Joker play. I could watch Donovan Mitchell, play. I like Spider Mitchell. I could watch Luka play. I'm not saying that during a Wednesday, am I going to sit here and Clippers, Mavericks today? I'm not saying I'm going to do that. But if it's on, I'm actually going to stop. Now, again, it's not like it's every basketball team. I'm not going to watch the Pacers. I could care less about the Hawks or the Pistons or anything like that, or Raptors. It's got to be marquee. Phoenix against Golden State. Lakers, Portland. Something that has some kind of, the Bulls are good this year. Watching the new Bulls, maybe against Miami. Watching the Sixers or something. So I just feel like I'm actually just kind of enjoying. There's a lot of storylines, a lot of craziness going on in basketball. So I just kind of like watching it. Then I said the Wizards are 9-3 in first place. So yeah. It's just fun. I'm not, again, I never even would have turned on a game by now, literally. Yeah. And Christmas is when it starts, but I'm enjoying watching some of these games. So.
Yeah, the only games I've watched this year are the Wizards, man. I'm enjoying watching them play, man. And like I said it at the time on this podcast, and I still believe this, man. I still think the Wizards in that trade when they got rid of Russell Westbrook, I still think they fleeced them, man. I feel like they fleeced them. I mean, they got really good contributors, man, to their team right now. The Wizards are weird. They don't have any superstars. They have Bradley Beal and a bunch of really, really good depth players, but it's working, man. And
I think that's what they needed. They needed depth.
They needed depth, yeah. And the one thing they are doing this year that they did not do at all last year is play defense. So they are a much better defensive team this year. So yeah, it's fun.
And that helps.
Yes, absolutely.
But fun to watch.
Yeah,
fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the reason why let's get to the reason for the season, man.
Yeah, man.
We got to talk about what I think was a great week of NFL results in football. So we got to definitely go back to the start of the week.
Do we have to?
I mean, your Sunday was good, so we can start there.
All right. Well, all right. Let's start with like you said. Let's talk about Week 9. And I ask you this to start off NFL every week. What was your biggest Week 9 surprise, Hurt?
Hold on 1 second. I don't know why this is taking so long. Here we go. My biggest Week 9 was my favorite Week 9 result. Whew, that came out of nowhere. Excuse me. I'm so happy about this game I sneezed. I'm Broncos on the road.
Yes.
I'm as you can see how big my smile is. And it's funny. I guess I don't think this is the biggest surprise. I honestly don't. Out of everything that happened, it's just the best surprise.
Okay. All right.
Because I want to see what you come up with.
All right.
But okay. Yeah, this one was I know everybody picked them to win, and just to come in there and just quiet down the hype train known as Dallas. I'm
Right.
still not. I'm still. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I was going to say, and let's give this some context, right? The week before, Dallas, with a backup QB, went into Minnesota and won that game, and won it pretty convincingly, man. You know what I mean? So they beat Minnesota. They're coming home. Dak is back, and they're playing a very mediocre-ish Denver team who just traded away their best defensive player, Von Miller. And from what I remember, Dallas was losing 30-0 with about 6 minutes. With about 6 minutes left in the game.
30-0 at Dallas, at Jerry World.
Right. So to me, that was amazing, man. That was amazing.
That was past it.
Yeah. But like you said, that wasn't the biggest surprise of the week.
No. It was the happiest one.
Yeah, that was the happiest one for you. I get that. To me, the biggest the biggest surprise of the week were the Arizona Cardinals to me.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, dude, they went in to Arizona. I mean, to San Francisco without Chase Edmonds, DeAndre Hopkins, and without one of one Kyler Murray.
But they had Colt McCoy. You forgot about that.
They had Colt McCoy, dude. But the thing is, not only did they beat the Niners at home, they dominated them. They controlled that game without those players. So to me, that was a huge surprise.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was good. Still, that wasn't the biggest surprise for me. The biggest surprise was the baseball game that broke out between the Bills and Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, I know everybody during the season, teams lay eggs, right? I mean, they laid the Bills are 5-3. But they went down to Jacksonville and just didn't show up.
Yeah.
They did not show up. And Jacksonville won 9-6. I mean, literally nothing exciting happened in that game at all. But yeah, the Bills, Bills kind of floundering right now, and they're like basically a game ahead of the Patriots. So that to me was shocking. Let's go to the rest of these.
Yeah, well, when you're Josh Allen, cancels out there, Josh Allen. I mean, hey.
Oh, dude. Well, Josh Allen had a great game, and Josh Allen had a bad game. I don't know how Josh Allen could outplay Josh Allen, but Josh Allen definitely outplayed Josh Allen.
Right.
So, I mean, kudos to Josh Allen, but not that Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen. So, I mean, even though that's weird, I can't imagine. I think I would feel weird if I was in the same place as Kevin Hart. So, playing someone that has your name, it's just weird. And then they intercept you, recover a fumble, whatever, and sack you and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, so, but kudos to them. In the Battle of Ohio, Browns destroyed the Bengals 41-16.
Right.
We got to talk about the fish. We want to talk about the fish, who are mammals, by the way. They won. They beat the Texans 17-9. Falcons over the Saints 27-25. Giants beat Giants coming along 23-16. Patriots on the road against soon-to-be Cam friendly Panthers. I'm going to talk about that. Battle his former teams. Chargers on the road over the Eagles 27-24. In the battle of the COVID list, Aaron Rodgers, the Chiefs still looking horrible, beat the Packers 13-7. Titans over Rams 28-16.
That was another surprising game.
Yeah, that game was weird, and that whole week was weird for the Rams, and we're going to get into that too. And Monday Night Football escaping with a win. The Steelers beat the Bears 29-27.
Don't you mean the refs beat the Bears?
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, again, you know me, I'm not a fan of refereeing in nearly any sport anyway. And they really showed their butt in all these in college and in pros.
Yeah.
It's been I don't know what goes on with these referees, But man, those dudes have just cost games. And that's my whole issue. They cost games.
Right.
And
They should not be a deciding factor in games.
no. Again, I still go back to that Jet Cincinnati game. Like, how egregious of a missed call was that? It's like,
hold on, but that call didn't decide the game, though.
well, I mean, it didn't, but it didn't help because it kept.
It didn't help.
It would have been a fourth down, or did it get a fourth down? The penalty gave the team a first down.
Yeah,
And kept the Jets having the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So but it would have been a fourth down or a turnover, one of the two, that they had to get rid of the ball, and Cincinnati would have got it back. But the fact is, the call was bad.
It was a bad call.
You know, I mean, so it's like they're just. I feel like sometimes they're just grasping at straws. They don't know what they're calling celebration rule in college. And guy goes like this, you throw a penalty. Just stop. I'm just. You over ref it. When you're over reffing, you're doing too much. We don't need to see you. They're in every game. They're becoming MLB umpires. I don't need to see you.
Right.
I don't need to know your name unless you're like Diesel or something. You know, like Oculus. But I don't need to see you calling every. I really don't. Sorry. Anyway, that's my mini rant. So that's going from week 9, and the beginning of week 10 started on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? My bad. Week 9, my bad. The Battle of the Purple People.
Yeah.
You guys played at home against the Vikings and 34-31. How'd you feel about that game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad we won. I didn't think we were going to win it. I mean, I kind of did, but, went to overtime. It's a good win. I mean, the only reason why I thought we were going to win because we were at home. So,
yeah, I mean, I picked you guys to win that game because I don't believe in the Vikings.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, I don't believe in the Vikings quarterback. Probably, honestly, that's probably more what I don't believe in. But Dalvin Cook got the first 100-yard game against you guys this season, so I was proud of him. Florida State, good job. So now let's get to Thursday.
Yeah, week 10.
Week 10 started on a Thursday. It started with a team going on the road to a team that has probably the best tailgate on the man. Wonderful people, wonderful fan base that they have, except that they support the college team down there. So I'm not going to say any more about this until you're done. So how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, well, I sent you, Rudy, and Dan a text before the game, and I gave 3 reasons why I was nervous about this game, why I thought it was going to be close. Ravens coming off an overtime win, a full period of overtime. I didn't like the fact I hate Thursday night road teams.
Road games.
No, but I'm just talking about in general when Thursday night road teams.
Okay.
I just feel like they're so at a disadvantage when it comes to those games. And I also told you I didn't like the fact that Lamar was coming off a game in which he carried the ball 21 times. So when you have that quick of a turnaround, and with those 3 factors, I was very nervous about this game.
Yeah.
So we started off good. We moved the ball first 2 drives. But man, it's something when Justin Tucker misses a field goal in the game.
And that never happens.
That's like a bad omen. This game reminded me of the Buffalo playoff game last year where we're moving the ball, and then Justin Tucker misses 2 straight field goals, and it was all downhill from there. When he missed that field goal, I got nervous. Miami's offense stunk. And I think I texted Rudy before the game. I was like, because in pregame you see Tua playing. I mean, you see Tua in uniform throwing the ball. I was like, why is Tua not playing? I don't understand this. If he's good enough to be the emergency dude, he should be good enough to play. He should be good enough to start. So I saw Jacoby Brissett those drives. I was like, good. The Ravens got a shot. As long as this dude's in the game, we have a shot. We sacked Jacoby Brissett in the 3rd quarter, and he's grabbing his knee. From that point on, I was like, it's over. It's done. As long as Jacoby Brissett was in the game, who was terrible, I thought we had a shot. Once Tua came in the game, I knew it was over. I knew, not to say that Tua was that much greater, but I knew they'd at least be able to move the ball down the field. The Ravens' offensive game plan, I have no idea what type of game plan it was. The offensive staff came in very underprepared. They did not come in with a very extensive game plan for the Dolphins. Now, they knew, like I know, that our offensive tackles stink and that they were going to be able to get pressure on us. So they put a plan in place where we could not only run the ball, but do some dink and dunk passes, which we really don't do. Lamar looks down the field to throw the ball, contrary to the narrative that he gets. And, you know, he actually does sit in the pocket and try to throw the ball downfield, but you wouldn't know that by the narrative that the national media has out for him. But anyway, it just didn't look good. We came in with a pathetic offensive game plan. I credit the Dolphins for applying a lot of pressure, for blitzing Lamar on third down, especially when we can't really do max protect on third down. So they just came after him. It was a good defensive game plan. The only thing I criticize the Dolphins on, more so Coach Flores, is why the heck he just didn't start Tua from the get-go. That, to me, that was dumb. But I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna have games like that. You know, like I said, I feel like, and I guess I am making excuses, but I just feel like, first of all, if that game was at M&T, we would have won. If that game was on a Sunday, we could have won, possibly. I just think road teams on Thursday nights are at such a disadvantage. But you would think the Ravens are good enough to overcome that advantage. But the truth of the matter is, the Ravens aren't a great team. The Ravens are a mediocre team with an MVP on the team. And that's the only reason why they have a 6-3 record right now, is because of that dude. He is the only reason that the Ravens have a winning record. They are a flawed team. They are an injured team. He's keeping the team afloat. And but, I mean, at the end of the day, look, the Dolphins won. It was a good win for the Dolphins. I mean, I credit to them. They came in with a good defensive game plan. We couldn't move the ball. They were at home. You know, it is what it is, man.
They won 2 in a row now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Good for them. Did I watch this game? I don't think I was watching it some. I forgot what came out Thursday. I was watching a little bit of it, huh?
Blacklist? I don't know.
Yes, thank you. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes. So watching Blacklist, which is actually better without Liz on it. That's besides the point.
Wait up, Liz isn't on Blacklist anymore? What the heck?
Oh, yeah, she was killed, supposedly.
What? Wait up, wait up. Why did he kill off Liz?
I think she, in like real life, I think she wanted to leave the show.
Oh.
But it fit the show because it was getting played. It was just getting tired.
So was Red her father? Her father?
That's what we still believe. Yes.
Oh, really? They never.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but it's so much better. Anyway. So yeah, I was in between then and watching this game. I mean, you could tell, and this is what the defense had. Yeah, Buffalo, they played well. Said Flores is calling the defensive plays, which it looks like it makes a difference. Like you said, you know, going on the road, Thursday night games are tough no matter where you're going. But I feel like Flores doing the defensive plays made a difference. Lamar only ran 9 times. Like you said, he ran 21 on Sunday. And that doesn't, and 9 carries doesn't include the sacks either, I don't think.
Well, now, mind you, the only reason why he ran 9 times is because we really couldn't extend drives.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Like, it wasn't like he was, I mean, 9 for 39 is cool, but, you know, you guys weren't moving anything, really.
Oh,
so it was, so he was still, I mean, he was 26 to 43 for 238. The Dolphins just played a better game.
Yeah.
The whole Tua was coming off broken or whatever finger. I don't think it was broken, but I know
Was
he has.
was he coming off a broken finger or was he coming off hurt feelings? Because I think
no, he was injured.
yeah.
So he was well
say.
enough to be the emergency quarterback.
That's what they say, but I'm not convinced that guy was hurt, man.
I don't think he has hurt. I don't think he's mentally soft like that. You know what I mean? It's just. But I mean, I don't know who else is on the roster. I think the crazy thing is, this is not the first game where the emergency quarterback is somebody who is injured or at least they can come in and do a couple plays. That happens in the NFL all the time. So I don't understand it. I'm like, can't you sign somebody off I mean, still like Joe Flacco hasn't even gotten a uniform yet, but why did you trade for him? So still, you know what I mean? So this happens in football. So that doesn't bother me. I don't care. They just came out and they played really tough on defense. You play really tough on defense, it helps. Fractured middle left finger. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he agreed with you about Tua starting. I disagree with both of you about it, but it didn't matter. I mean, we'll see. We gotta see I don't know who the Dolphins' next game is against, but if he doesn't start that game, then there's a problem. To me, then something's going on. But Jacoby Brissett's not the answer to any question that Miami needs to answer or ask. Yeah, because that's Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
So, all right, let's get to the rest of week
9. Before we get to week 9 and the news that happened, I just have a gripe. Just real quick. I was listening to I made the mistake of listening to NFL Network. Yeah. And they were talking about as they do every week, talk about who's the MVP. Okay. And his MVP so far is Tom Brady. I have no issue with that. LaShawn McCoy is now an analyst or whatever.
Oh, is it?
Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't say analyst, but he's one of the morning dudes on NFL Network, one of their morning shows or whatever. So he said, yeah, he was making the case for why Tom Brady's MVP. I have no problem with that. But dude, don't you ever compare Tom Brady to Jesus Christ. Okay? Yeah. Let me give you the quote. Okay. I heard this and I was like, okay, what world are we living in? Let's see. And even it's funny because I just heard this and even I saw a article about this and the headline is Tom Brady receives the holiest of praise from ex-NFL star LaShawn McCoy. And LaShawn, quote, playing with that dude right there, man, that's probably the closest thing that you're going to get to this earth with Jesus walking around. I'm like, dude, don't you ever do that, man. Don't you ever do that. Okay? That's all. I heard that quote and I just got pissed. Like, look, we know Tom's the GOAT. We know you love him. Okay, you played with him. He was great. Don't ever compare that dude to Jesus. Okay, all right. That's all I have to say about that.
He probably gave him some Bitcoin. Well, right, since we talked about the GOAT, we might as well start with the GOAT. So 1 p.m. at wonderful Landover Field in Landover in FedEx Field. For the playoff game last season, and two teams who won their division as well. The Buccaneers on the road at Washington. What's going to happen?
I think.
There you go, Dan. Dan's getting into biblical references as well.
He's more like Moses.
That's right.
There we go, Dan.
There we go. That's way better.
Yes.
Than Shady McCoy.
I love that.
My God.
Really good, Dan. Really good.
That is too funny.
No, so you said the Bucs are on the road. They're in DC, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm going to pick the Bucs here, but it's going to be a close game. This is going to be like the playoff divisional round. Wild card round rematch from last year. It's going to be a lot closer game than people think.
Well, GT thinks 430 and 4 touchdowns. Maybe the 4 touchdowns. Tom's not throwing for 430 today. I think it's going to be, but Washington cannot score. That's the problem. The defense has actually woke up from where they were earlier in the season, but the offense has been sputtering. And unless they actually put pressure and score touchdowns, they're not going to win this game. So Buccaneers are on the road for the win.
All right.
Falcons on the road, traveling to Jerry World themselves to play the Cowboys. Falcons, Cowboys. What you got?
They're going to. I mean, I would almost pick Atlanta this game if they were in Atlanta. You know what? I'm going to pick Atlanta. I'm picking Atlanta. Yep.
All right. To me, it's going to be hard for Dallas to lose 2 in a row at home. They have to come out better this game. The Falcons are 4-4 now, a little bit better than what they were earlier in the season. They're definitely finding ways to get their tight end into the games and affecting games even better. The rookie tight end that they have, Dallas has to win this game. They have to win this game. Because if they don't win this game, literally tomorrow, Marcus Spears, anyone else who ever played for the team, and they really just need to take a day off of talking about this team. Just take a day off from praising them or thinking they're going to the Super Bowl or they're still the best team in the NFL. Whatever it is that they want to blow smoke up everybody's butts about. Just tomorrow, if they lose at home to the Falcons, all of you, Michael Irvin, everybody just take a day off. Just have it a national day of Cowboys silence. Because I don't want to hear nothing from any of them at all. Because I'm sick of it. Because even this week after they lost, they're still talking about, other big teams lose, blah, blah, blah. Y'all want talking. Just don't change the narrative of y'all thinking y'all still this greatest thing in the world. Then y'all lose a game 30-0, basically, and then you want to change the narrative. Well, this happens to – look what happened. No. You always want to put yourself here and everybody else here. So when you're up here and you get beat, and you get embarrassed at home. Just call it what it is. I can't stand that.
Here's why I think the Falcons have a shot in this game. They go into a dome. They're used to playing indoors. They're used to the Dallas defensive scheme because Dallas's defensive coordinator is Dan Quinn, I believe, who used to be the head coach of the Falcons. So I think they'll be used to of what they're going to try to do on defense. The question is, will Atlanta's defense be able to shut down Dallas's offense, which they probably won't, but I think this game will be a shootout. I don't think the Falcons are going to be intimidated, and I think it's going to be a close game. So, but I think the Falcons they're riding high right now. I'm going to pick them to upset the Cowboys.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hope you're right. Saints going on the road to Tennessee.
This is another upset I'm picking. I am picking the Saints to upset the Titans.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know the Titans are they're 7-2, 3-1 at home. Saints coming off a loss at home to the Falcons. So we'll see how that works. My fantasy question.
Hey, we welcome fantasy questions here. Good morning question. Full PPR. I need 2. Lockett, Brandon Ayuk, Singletary, and Darrell Williams. Thank you. Who do you like? Wait a minute. This must be the flex position.
Definitely.
We have 2 receivers and 2 running backs.
Trying to see. Okay, well, the 49ers are on Monday night.
I can tell you right now, I'm taking. I don't like Singletary. He doesn't really do much for me. He doesn't. I don't think he catches enough too. I mean, if you're in a full PPR, I don't think he catches enough balls out the backfield to or get a lot in the running game to justify him starting.
Yeah.
Darrell Williams, I think he's an okay option, but I mean, PPR, I'm going wide receivers every time. I mean, Lockett, come on.
Russell. Yeah, plus, Russ is coming back.
Yeah, Russell's coming back, so I'm
definitely
Lockett. And Ayuk he's been a weapon, man. I mean, he's been a weapon lately, especially these past couple of games. So yeah, I'm taking those 2. What do you?
Yeah, I don't like Singletary. either, but I would probably take Lockett and Ayuk.
Yeah, good question.
Well, thank you very
AM.
much.
Thanks, AM. Appreciate it.
Let me see. Jags. Oh, Saints, Titans. You picking the Saints. I'm picking the Titans. I forgot who the Saints quarterback is. Is it Archie? Who is it?
It's Trevor Siemian.
Oh, yeah, Trevor Siemian from Northwestern. Yeah, I'm picking the Titans.
Yeah.
Jaguars coming off their big win on the road against the Colts.
I am taking the Colts at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts at home. I still think it may be. I mean, Jaguars coming off a really good defensive game. The Colts are up and down. They've just been an up and down team, but I want to take the Colts in this one.
All right.
Browns, after a big win on the road at Cincinnati, going on the road to face the Patriots. What you got?
Is Chubb out due to COVID this week?
Chubb is out due to COVID.
I'm taking the Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah.
I just think defensively they're gonna kind of stifle that offense. And like you said, Chubb's not there. Other dude's still on IR. God, I can't think of his name. The other running back today.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's still on IR. So the guy who I picked up had a good game a couple weeks ago. He's going to start.
Yeah.
So he'll be starting that game, but I have the Patriots. Bills at the Jets.
Mike White is coming back. Not Joe Flacco, not MVP Joe, but Mike White is coming back. And because he's coming back, I am picking the Jets. This has nothing to do with the game last week, the 9-6 game last week. I just feel like the Jets at home, Mike White coming back, I think he's going to have something for Buffalo. Even though they're a 13-point underdog, I'm taking the Jets, man.
Wow. Wow. Well, I know that Dan's picking his survivor pool, so Dan will not be happy with the Bills losing this game. I have the Bills winning only because they cannot have two horrible, terrible, disgusting games like that back to back.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a little bit chilly. People are probably going to be out there wanting to play. The Bills need this game. So I'm picking the Bills.
All right, we'll see, man. And AM, thanks. Hey, no problem. No problem with that.
The Lions, who, of course, are winless.
Yeah.
On the road against Ben Roethlisberger-less Steelers.
Yeah, man. So this just came out yesterday. That Ben
I just saw that yesterday.
Was put on a COVID list. Man, what a great week to play the Lions, man. I tell you. Look, if you can't go without Ben, this is a good week to play the Lions. So I'm assuming Mason Crosby is going to get the start today. The problem is
Terry Bradshaw's not coming off that bench.
Yeah. You know, I would pick Detroit. I honest to goodness would pick Detroit. If this were on the road, I would pick Detroit. But the Lions are so bad, and Jared Goff has just played horrible this year. I don't trust Jared Goff, especially against the Steelers defense. And it's funny because I actually have the Steelers, speaking of fantasy, I have the Steelers defense and I have the Bills defense. I'm going with the Steelers today because I just had that much disbelief in Jared Goff. And playing in Pittsburgh, that's going to be hard, man. That's
playing outside, 38 degrees.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold, probably a little bit windy. It's going to be one of those Steelers type games that I have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 17-6 type of game. You know what I mean? So.
All right, 4:05 kickoffs. We got the Panthers going on the road to the 8-1 Cardinals. Cardinals will probably be without Kyler Murray. They're going to be without, as you said before, the running back, it was Chase Edmonds, and they're probably going to be without DeAndre Hopkins. So Cardinals, Panthers. Who you got?
If Kyler doesn't play, if those people don't play, I'm taking the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Panthers 4-5. They're okay. They had a couple good wins early in the season, then they just tapered off a lot. Cardinals won with Colt McCoy, and Texas needs their stars to play in the NFL. Though, so to take that stink off that loss to Kansas, I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
All right.
Cardinals at home. The Vikings, who had a couple tough losses in the past couple weeks, going on the road to face the Chargers. What you got?
Vikings. I give the Vikings credit. They have a lot of fight in them, but they just don't know how to close out games this year, man. I wonder why. The Chargers should win this game. They should win this game with ease, but who knows? But yeah, like I said, the Vikings have a lot of fight. I'm not going to count them out, but I think Chargers at home. I'll just go ahead and take the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers. Chargers at home.
Right.
In I guess you would call a scheduling quirk, the Broncos facing their third straight NFC East team are playing at home to the Eagles.
Wow.
It's the Broncos, Eagles. Who you got?
Taking the Broncos, man. They came off a nice win over Dallas. They have the Eagles in their building. I think playing in Denver is going to be a lot for Jalen Hurts. I think it's hard to play in their stadium. I think the Broncos defense. I think Vic Fangio is going to have something for Jalen Hurts today. So I'm picking the Broncos.
I'm going to pick the Eagles, only due to NFC East pride, I guess, and because I don't want them having like 6 of their wins and 3 of them against us in a row. So I'm going to just pick the Eagles. I gotta go for that one. 425. We had the Seahawks with Russ coming back. Still no Chris Carson though. On the road, going to the soon to be coming back, past all his protocols, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
So is he playing today, Rodgers?
Yeah, he's playing today.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Packers.
I'm picking the Packers at home. This is Russ's first game back. I think it's going to be close. But I think Rodgers is going to be motivated. It's going to be Green Bay. It's going to be rainy. It's 31 degrees. You know, one of those Green Bay type games. Might even see a flurry or two. But I think the Packers are going to win.
All right.
And they're the healthiest of the two teams. Sunday Night Football, we have an old rivalry. We have the Chiefs on the road against the Raiders. Who you got?
I really don't know. I'm going to take the Chiefs. For as bad as they've played, yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I just think they gotta at some point get better, man. They're too good to be this bad, so I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I want to take the Raiders. I'll take the Raiders because they played the Chiefs very well. They have to come off that stink of a loss against the Giants last week. Chiefs are still not right. They're still not right.
No.
So I'm going to take the Raiders at home against the Chiefs. Monday Night Football, Battle of California. We have the Rams and the 49ers. Monday night, who you got?
49ers stink. Kyle Shanahan has got to be one of the most overrated head coaches.
Overrated.
I mean, I'm just sick of this dude getting all these praise and accolades every year, but he has – this is what, his 4th year, his 3rd losing record so far. Yeah, he got the Super Bowl a couple years ago, but
that's it. That's what's keeping him where he is.
Yeah, but I mean, that was his only winning season as coach, man. I mean, what's his excuse this year? I mean, yeah, they've had injuries, but I mean, everybody has injuries. So I just don't think the 49ers are that good of a team. And when you lose at home to a team to a team in your division without their starting QB, wide receiver, and running back, I can't pick you, man. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going for the Rams at home against the 40. No, Rams on the road. Rams on the road at the 49ers.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Rams to win. Speaking of the Rams, they signed a wide receiver and they lost a wide receiver.
Yeah. Talk about good timing.
Or bad timing.
Or bad timing.
Yeah.
Put it.
So I want you to talk about the impact of how you think OBJ, who of course was released by Cleveland this week, cleared waivers and was free to sign with any team. He signed with the Rams, who on Friday lost Robert Woods for the season to an ACL. So he automatically comes in, him and Cooper Kupp. How do you think OBJ is going to fit in? We don't know. He hasn't played yet. How do you think he's going to fit in with this Rams system?
I actually think he's going to be fine, man. the biggest question OBJ has is his health. You know what I mean? He's as long as this guy's healthy, he can be a productive QB, and he's going to. I think he's going to go to a system that caters to his abilities. You know what I mean?
Be a productive wide receiver.
Huh?
To be a productive wide receiver.
Yeah. I think he's going to do fine because in the Cleveland system, their whole offense was predicated on the run game. You know what I mean? With this system, it is to a certain point, but they look to throw the ball downfield a lot. You know, I think he's going to be able to get open because he's OBJ and he can just do. You know, he's good at running routes. He's great at running routes and getting open. But because he has attention. Because Cooper Kupp's going to draw a lot of attention. Robert Woods would have drawn a lot of attention, but
definitely.
Yeah, but it sucks that they lose him, but no, he'll be fine, man. He's in a great offensive system. He's with a quarterback they'll be able to get him the ball and loves to throw downfield.
Really good offensive minded head coach.
Yeah, so he'll be fine. I mean, the biggest thing for him is staying healthy and making sure he just fits in with the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Don't make any waves, and it should be all right. So.
Right.
How do you think about Cam going home? He's coming home.
Yeah, it's funny. That's the song that came to my mind. You sent me that text. I was like, wow, man. And that was the song that just played in my head. I think it's such a good story, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's so cool. And I think it's good that him and the owner were able to, you know, come to terms and meet up and say, hey, man, we want you here. And they really wanted him. And you know what? They showed Cam some love. They really did, not just in bringing him back, but how much they're paying him as well, man. He's in a really good situation.
He's back. Yeah, he's back where it all started. I think, again, his injuries were costing him when he was there because, you know, those first couple of seasons down there were magical. Yeah. And I just think him being back in that community that he's so close to. Yeah, I think it'll help everybody.
So. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, man. Yeah. I think it's a good move.
So I don't know if he's going to play today.
I don't think he's going to play today.
But of course, next week they have a home game against Washington. So that'll probably be his first game.
How fitting is that, man? It would have been really how fitting would it have been though if he had signed a week earlier, would have had to go up against the Patriots.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Then go up against Washington, man. That would have been great. But no, it's still a good story. I am actually looking forward to seeing Cam play, man. I really am. Now, see him come out with that number one. Come on, man.
So maybe I'm just losing my mind. It could be one of those things.
Okay.
But it says tickets for that game right now.
Uh-huh.
It said tickets are as low as $128.
To the to which game?
Washington Panthers game.
And where is this at?
It's in Carolina.
Okay, so what's the problem?
128. That has to be only for him. Like there's nobody who would care about this game. Period. Now I know there's a lot of fans actually in Carolina that are Washington fans. But 128 for that game? No. It has to be as I call it, the Cam effect. So
yeah, you know, you're probably right, Hurt.
Literally, Washington at Carolina, no one's excited about it except for Washington or Carolina.
Yeah.
So Thursday night game, we got Patriots going on the road to the Falcons. Can Matty Ice win a big one from a team from his home state, or can Mac Jones go back down to the South and have a big win back in Atlanta where he won all those SEC championship games?
I'll take Atlanta. Atlanta's a home team.
Atlanta's a home team.
I'll take Atlanta.
I'm taking the Patriots. Actually, I took them already, right? No, I'll take the Falcons. I already picked the Patriots this week. I don't know if they can do it twice, so I'll pick the Falcons. Which, by the way, is a 4-point favorite in that game. Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, that is it for the NFL, man. So yeah, some good games and everything, but we are at the midseason. We're gonna go through this quickly. I need you to give your midseason awards, man. We're at that halfway point of 17 games. So
That's crazy.
I know. So let's start out with let's just start with the big award. Who's your MVP so far in the NFL season?
So MVP, I think there are 3 candidates for MVP. I think you have Tom Brady, who's doing amazing things down in Tampa Bay.
You gotta have a touchdown, Tommy.
At right at 44 years old. Lamar Jackson, who's doing everything for the Ravens right now. He's literally 85 to 90% of the Ravens' entire offense. I think he leads the league right now in offensive yards out of any quarterback. But my midseason MVP, regrettingly so, is Matt Stafford. And the crowd it's not just the stats. The reason why he's MVP because, like I said, I have no faith in Jared Goff. But when you literally had Jared Goff on the same team and see what he did and see what Matt Stafford is doing with the same team, dude, that team, not that team sucked, but that team was just, this team is so much better with Matt Stafford than Jared Goff. He's got to be the most valuable player to that team, seeing the difference that he's making compared to last year. So he's my MVP, my midseason MVP.
Yeah, my midseason MVP is the exact same guy. He's right now 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Tom's got 25 and 5. He's ahead of Brady in yards by like 100 and something. So a little less attempts. Probably, they both are on good teams. I'm going to give it to Matthew Stafford. I just think I think he's made a huge difference in that team.
Yeah. So I don't think Lamar is that far behind. I think Lamar is the true MVP because of the impact he has on his team and how much he actually means to his team, especially when you put in context the injuries that the Ravens have had. He really is the entire team. So Lamar still has to do a lot, but I truly think Lamar could win the MVP. It depends on how the second half goes. But as of right now, Matt Stafford's the MVP.
We're gonna have Lamar discussion next week. So because I disagree with you a little bit, but I want to get into
no. Why you disagree with what?
Him being third on the list. I think it was Derrick Henry, but he got hurt. So
no, he's hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Who's third? I did have up there pretty high. I did have Kyler Murray till he got hurt.
No, Kyler Murray.
Please let me talk. Swear, every single time we have a disagreement, I can't ever just talk.
You have the floor, Hurt.
Wow, thank you. Lamar's having a great season. He's definitely having a great season. My thing is, and it's not even coming from me. I feel like the social media. I just feel like the media isn't putting him where I think he deserves to be.
You're absolutely right.
I feel like they're not going to put him in a conversation based on how they look at him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel he has to do some, even he's done some extraordinary things this season, but I feel like he has to always go above and beyond what people call the regular quarterback or whatever it is. Even though, again, they're 6-3, Matthew Stafford 7-2. I think Brady's 7-2. They both have 2 losses. Ravens have 3. But he has no one to hand off to. And watching that game, Hollywood fumbled twice, lost one of them. His wide receivers just came back. Andrews is his most consistent guy. He should be up there. I'm just going by how the media looks at him. That's my only issue.
Okay.
Not saying he doesn't deserve to be there. It's just I don't think they will put him there because that's how they look at Lamar. Okay. I really do.
All right. Well, we can move on, but I just want to make this real quick case for Lamar. It's only going to take 30 seconds. First of all, Lamar Jackson is on pace for 4,500 yards throwing, 1,200 yards running. Okay. Take in context, he lost not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of his top running backs this year, right? So he's had to take on the load as a number 1 running back, right? He lost his all-pro tackle at left tackle. He lost his right tackle, who was having an all-pro season, and he's lost numerous wide receivers throughout the year. Not even talking about the losses that the Ravens have had on defense. The dude is doing everything. He is 90% of the team's offense. Like, if you take a look at the Ravens' offensive yardage, he accounts for like 90% of it. That's sick. But you're right. It all depends on stupid national media narratives. They just look at stats. They don't put those stats in context. Me as a Ravens fan, I can do that because I follow it so closely. So you're right. It all depends. But I'm telling you, if Lamar, and this is going to be the key. The Ravens, after this Dolphins game, that was the last supposedly easy game they had. They have a gauntlet these last 7 games. If Lamar can perform at an MVP level these last 7 games, he will win the MVP. But let's move on to Coach of the Year.
That was not 30 seconds.
Sorry about that.
All right, go you got for Coach.
I'm curious. You start off this time.
I can't be a homer because it's not my team, I guess. I'm just a Sean McVay fan. I really like Sean McVay. He had to, and the GM made the decision to get rid of Goff, start new with a guy who can throw a lot, was doing basically no pressure to play Detroit at all, to bring him into a situation where he has to perform. He's underneath the microscope, and he needs to take this team to the next level from the guy who was there before. And I think they've been doing a great job so far. I know that last game they had was a little bit of a stinker, but I got to give it to Sean McVay.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Sean McVay because I think the Coach of the Year is the guy that just beat him, and that's I can't stand this guy, but Mike Vrabel, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans are 7-2. They just lost. Who should have, like you said, it should have been an MVP conversation. The true MVP of that team and possibly the league, Derrick Henry. I mean, the things that dude was doing was freaking amazing. If this dude, and they have a very easy schedule from here on out, man. If this dude wins like 13, 14 games, like this dude's going to win MVP, man. And deservedly so, because them first 2 games of the year, like their defense was terrible. And it's turned around big time, man. And they're the top team in the AFC right now. So, yeah, I'm giving it to him.
So neither one of us has Cliff Kingsbury. Why would that be?
Because I just feel like I said, because I take things in context. And I just feel like when you contextualize what Vrabel has done in that with that team, especially with the loss of Derrick Henry at the midpoint, I think he's done a more impressive job. But Arizona's stacked, man.
I know they lost JJ for the season. They won last week without Kyler. Kyler may miss this week. DeAndre played a game where he came in whenever he felt like it, which he didn't play a lot. So Chase Edmonds is out. So they, Cliff Kingsbury is definitely up there. If they continue, they're 8-1. So he's definitely going to be in the conversation and could take it.
Yep, I agree.
All right, your defensive player of the year.
Well, my defensive player, there are 2 candidates, right? When we did our predictions in the beginning of the year, I had Myles Garrett, and I'm going to stick with Myles Garrett. He's having a great season. I think in the conversation should be TJ Watt, which he should always be in the defensive player of the year conversation. I think it's neck and neck between them 2. And I'll even throw former Raven Matt Judon in there. He left the Ravens and he's having an awesome season for the Patriots. But I think Myles Garrett's the defensive MVP.
Who did I say?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. So I'm going to say it's TJ Watt. 11.5 sacks. He only trails Myles Garrett, who has 12. Myles having a great season. We're at the halfway point, so who knows how far they can go. Just TJ, just and again, I don't watch Pittsburgh a lot. Just watching him play, man, that dude's just a beast.
He's so good.
Everywhere.
TJ is a one-man wrecking crew. He's so good, man. Like, I hate the Steelers, but I love TJ Watt. And when he was out at the beginning of the year and the Steelers didn't want to pay him, I was like, please don't pay him. Please keep this hard stance, because that guy is worth every penny. And the thing I like about TJ Watt is not only is he productive, but he's always available, man. Other than like the beginning of the season, and I really think that's the only reason why he was hurt was because he was sitting out. You know what I mean? That dude's always playing, man. Like he rarely ever misses games, it seems like. And guess what? He hasn't even played the Ravens yet. Yo, he has what, 11? You said 11 and a half sacks?
11 and a half.
Wait till he plays the Ravens, man. We cannot stop that guy at all. So he's gonna have a field day when he plays us. So yeah, TJ Watt, I love that guy, man. I think
I probably picked Aaron Donald, probably.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with TJ Watt.
All right.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I think it's two choices, and I hate to say this. No, I'm not gonna say it. Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, to me, it's Jamar Chase. I'm not sure who else you were gonna say.
Mac Jones.
Oh, no, it's Jamar Chase. I mean, Mac Jones is coming along better as the season goes, but Jamar Chase has, and I know that team's been on a little bit of a slide lately. That dude was just winning games for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Mac Jones is cool. He's got 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, that team is winning. He's still not there yet. So to me, it's Jamar Chase. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'll start out with that one. Mm-hmm. As you say, there's people on other teams that you may despise or hate, but you definitely have to respect the player and what they've done. And we haven't even faced them yet. We faced them in our last 3 weeks of the season twice. But Trayvon Diggs, man, that dude, 7 interceptions. Every time that team is on TV, which is, of course, we know every other day, that dude's everywhere. That dude's everywhere. I still hate the fact that he wears number 7. But it's like he's a wide receiver like his brother. But the dude's everywhere, man, and he will win games for that team. So I have to give it to Trayvon Diggs as my defensive player of the year. Those Alabama guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Homer. I'm going Odafe Oweh. He leads all rookies in sacks. He's had impact plays for the defense, for the Ravens. He has forced fumbles that have had impacts on the games that we've played. People worry because he came out of Penn State last year, had no sacks. He's already got 4 in 9 games. So, he's having a good defensive year so far. Disappears a little bit too much, but he's a rookie, but he's making an impact. So I'm gonna go Homer, and I'm gonna say Odafe Oweh is the defensive rookie of the year.
Okay, and to end it, the most disappointing team and your most surprised successful teams.
Well, the most disappointing team has got to be the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean,
without a shadow of a doubt. There's their first, second, and third.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, we got, and this is all goes back to what you were saying as far as narratives and what the national media says. But, we have reports coming out this year that the league's going to figure, Lamar Jackson out, and he's having a phenomenal season. But yeah, we don't want to talk about how Pat Mahomes has had a terrible year, man. Like, he's had a lot of turnovers, and a lot of turnovers that he's caused. Like, I've seen too many times where he's in the middle of being sacked and he just puts a ball up in the air and turnover.
It's like rookie. He looks like it's rookie. Yeah. He's already got 10 interceptions, 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But we all know and we've seen games. I know he's 4th in passing yardage, but the dude doesn't look right.
Yeah, something's
not right. He doesn't look right. And like you said, they could be figuring him out.
Right. But we don't. He's been to back-to-back Super Bowls and the AFC Championships and all this stuff. So we don't want to say that.
Won a Super Bowl. I mean, because the thing is, the dude is a pure, unadulterated passer. But that's why I always give things to say Aaron Rodgers, and even Tom Brady. But they've been, and I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the Super Bowls, nowhere near Brady, but they've still been consistent, high-quality QBs for the times that they were starting till now. You know what I mean? And that's hard to do, to be at that top level. And Mahomes, it's only been 4 years of like top level, quarterback play. We already put him in the Hall of Fame. We already put him in, he's already got his gold jacket. That dude cemented. But, and that's, again, not saying he can't turn around the second half of the season, but he doesn't look the same. But like you said, the narrative is going to be different because he's a strictly passing QB. So, but teams are figuring him out. Yeah. And same could go for Josh Allen as well. So even though Josh Allen's having a good season, but there are defenses that can be designed to stop people, period.
Right, absolutely.
All right, you're a surprise team of the year.
All right, I have two of them, but my runner-up was the Bengals. I think they're having a great year. Joe Burrow is having a great year. The Bengals have they're winning right now. They're 5-4.
Yeah.
They're definitely in contention for the division and for a playoff spot in the AFC. And I don't think too many people saw that coming. So they're a surprising team. But to me, the most surprising team, and you already mentioned this team, they're 8-1 right now, and that's the Arizona Cardinals, man. I had a feeling they would be good, but not this good, man. And Cliff Kingsbury and 1 of 1, they're doing great out there. So Arizona Cardinals, to me, are the most surprising team in the NFL.
Yeah, those are the two, to me, the best answers for this question. Cincinnati, again, I know they're tied for last currently, but that division's so tight that last and first can switch in a week.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where they are in there, but it could change. They're exciting to watch. They're a fun team.
Yeah.
They got their quarterback in the future. They got their wide receiver in the future. So Mixon's good. So they definitely have that. But it's Arizona. I mean, they're 3-0 in the division. We don't know how hard that division is. Yeah. They've already beaten the Rams. They're 5-0 away, 3-1 at home. I mean, that team is a real team. And now, can they keep this up for the rest of the season? We'll see, because their defense is playing great. But Arizona's got to be that team.
Yep.
Gotta be that team. So that is it for this week, man. Just a lot of good things going on. Florida State beating Miami, Towson beating Florida. Maryland basketball back.
Maryland almost beating Michigan State.
That didn't happen. But you know what? You could probably beat them in lacrosse. I'm pretty sure about that. So remember, you have that going for you. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in on StreamYard. And of course, we're on YouTube. You can subscribe and like us. We appreciate it. NYNB Podcast. Of course, we're on the Facebook, IG, and the Twitter. We'll be tweeting away today. So, of course, follow us on that. And as well, we're on the Spreaker, Stitcher apps. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, anywhere you find podcasts, you will find the NYNB Podcast. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Stay warm. It's going to be cold.
Peace.
Cool.